everyone. Let me turn the music down. Yes, Merp, very much Sib Wolf. How you doing? Hi everyone. I am having a hectic weekend, but as always, I want to come to you with anti-patriarchal content, which is what we're going to do today. So, hello, how are you doing? I hope you're having a great day wherever it is, whenever it is you are, and we're going to get right into it. So, this is going to be a little bit of a mess of a video because I'm running late and doing everything last minute, but we're just going to wing it and see how it goes. Last week, we went into some really like highbrow, academic, deep sorts of content. And today I want to do something a little more relaxed, a little more fun, because it shouldn't always be work. Coming and watching in this show shouldn't always be work. And as a consequence, I wanted to do something a little more spontaneous, a bit more fun, but still, of course, relevant. And I thought it might be sort of interesting to look at a new anti-feminist who is on the scene. I only learned about Pearl Davis from working with Kevin, and in particular, if you missed this week's last happy hour on Friday on Twitch, you should go check it out. She's, I guess, comes across as an inheritor of the crown, as it were, of, let's say, a Lauren Southern or other kind of pick-me anti-feminists who are willing to throw women under the bus in order to get male approval. That's kind of the real gist of anti-feminist, in my opinion. They don't have really good points. They don't have really good arguments. What they rely on is sexism and appealing to people who, you know, like find equality quite scary and somehow challenging to their notions of authority. Does that sound like fun? It's a very short video. Today's video is going to be pretty short, but I do think that if people like this, we can do it again, because I think it would be good to refute this kind of stuff when it comes out on a regular basis. All right, and of course, I don't have the correct window capture for the screen that I want to use, because my life is complicated. So let me see if I can do the properties check here really quick and swatch this over to, yeah, this one. All right, look at me, editing on the fly. Very exciting. All right, so let me go ahead and swap us over to the channel. As you can see, it's a lot of trans hate. It's a lot of sympathy for right-wingers. And yeah, we're going to have a look at a video she put out a couple days ago. There's a lot of these little things. Let me just see. No, it wasn't 8 days ago. It was the problem. Here we go. The problem with modern women in Western society. My thought on this was to let Pearl just give her opinions without reacting first. It's a 3-minute video. So in this case, it's really not a problem to let her, I mean, it might be slightly painful to listen to her for 3 minutes, but it's not impossible. And I think for this case, it might be more interesting to like listen to her 3 and hear the whole, shh, 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 Pearl, wait. Oh, so right, I had her muted for you, so that's good. You didn't have to worry about that. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. And yeah, I'm looking in the right direction, I think. My eye line doesn't look weird from this angle. So let's have a listen to what Pearl has to say about the problem with modern women in Western society. And the things that I'm going to be looking for, I guess it's worth pointing out, what I'm going to be looking for are ad hominems, strawmen, cherry picking, and, you know, just basically failing to steel man a single argument or even deal with like a real person who's a feminist making a comment on feminist theory. Because if when we look back at that article that we read last week, that was feminist critique. Like, it didn't say anything about feminist theory, and it didn't cite a single feminist theorist, but the entire perspective of re-examining the data on women's hunting participation and augmenting it with further eyewitness statements is all done in aid of challenging the assumption that men are providers and women are caregivers, which is the dynamic we are given as the false binary in our in our patriarchal system, to show that actually women were participating in hunting quite actively, that they do it across cultures, they do it across time, they do it across the size of animals, and they do it while, taking care of kids. So I'm not so feminist critique can come in without it being explicitly feminist. Anything that challenges sexism, anything that challenges patriarchy is necessarily informed by feminist theory or feminist critique, because if you didn't have that critique, you're a patriarch. Like, if you don't see a problem with these things, then there's no reason to criticize them. So all these things are inherently feminist in their perspective, whether or not they acknowledge them. So I want to see if Pearl here has anything intelligent to say, anything interesting or challenging, something that would actually make me pause and concede and maybe even look something up. That would be fascinating. So let's see if that is the case. I will do a quick audio check now that the audio is live, just to make sure that it's balanced. If it doesn't seem to be a problem, I'll just let it run. If it does seem to be a problem, I will try to adjust on the fly. All right, let's go.
Now, we have women that really are, I would say, genetic, like, masterpieces almost. Maybe it's not the right word, but like top genes, right? They're stunningly beautiful. Like,
all right. Okay, I said I was going to listen first. Okay, I already have a critique, but all right.
Absolutely stunning and great bodies, very friendly and nice, but they still are not exempt to being modern women. The culture, like, women are so susceptible to propaganda. The culture just has really ruined us. We have Sofia Vergara, who we covered last week. She's getting a divorce. So this woman is 51 and twice divorced.
I'm going to call, damn, look at her. She looks amazing. And I don't care what your age is. Like, that at 50, dang. Like, that's my age. I do not look that good. Nowhere near. Yeah, look at her. She looks amazing. And yeah, good on her. The idea that sexuality has an expiration date is kind of just another symptom of patriarchy that values younger women who can be exploited and manipulated by older men who have money and power as the norm, because older women who are financially secure. So I know I said I wasn't going to stop, but damn.
She's been ensnared in a legal battle with another ex-boyfriend that she never married because she wanted to destroy the frozen embryos they'd created via IVF. And he didn't. Her most recent divorce is allegedly because her ex wanted kids and she didn't. But hey, she's partying in Italy in a swimsuit. This is exemplary of what is wrong with Western society. There's no shame in being single, but very few people are being called to a lifetime of singlehood. No one is called to a series of broken marriages. Single doesn't look so great when you're 70 and alone. It's really interesting because it's almost like we live in, like, a fake world, because these women, like, they get their faces frozen and, like, they get all these, like, natural stuff where they don't look their age. But think about an average, like, 55-year-old woman that you know wearing a swimsuit like this. It's almost like we're living in this la-la land. Like, I'm sorry, a 55-year-old woman should not be moving like a 25-year-old woman.
Okay, why? All right, I'll get to it. All right, we're almost done with her nonsense. This is garbage, by the way. This is just nonsense and garbage. But I'll break it down more thoroughly in a bit.
This should not be controversial. I don't care if you're single or married. You're supposed to be an example to the younger women. Yet, like, I don't even wear swimsuits like that. And I'm half your age, lady. Like, and this is the crazy thing. It's like we have all of these old ladies living like they're 25 when they are not. And we have a society that pushes them to live in this delusion, when literally this woman is at the end of her life. You know, I mean, she's going to maybe make it to like 70, 75, 80. And what does the end of life look like? You know, and I really believe women really start to feel lonely when looks start to fade. Because when your looks start to fade, you kind of start to see who loves you for you and not your looks. And I've heard this from older women where, like, it's kind of like you go through a phase where, like, when your looks start to go, you realize a lot of, like, the guys around you are just, there for one thing. I mean, obviously we're red pill, but and but it's like, what does life look like at 70 for her when her looks are actually gone? Because I don't know, maybe she'll look good at 70. I don't know.
Wow. Okay, so first impressions. I don't know how y'all are feeling in the chat. That was like moronic. Like that was just, there's nothing intelligent here. All right, so I'm gonna break this down. All right, so Pearl, on the one hand, I mean, she's a bundle of contradictions of opinions that are just obviously thrown together and really not thought through. Because she is both mocking this woman who at 51 does not plan on getting pregnant, and somehow she's being shamed for that, for wanting to basically stop paying rent on embryos that are not going to be used, right? If you have frozen embryos somewhere and you break up with the partner and you have no intention of implanting those embryos into your body, why would you pay rent to a facility to host eggs that you're never going to use? That just seems wasteful on a whole bunch of levels. And but then she's shaming her for not getting pregnant as well. So on the one hand, women are not supposed to be beautiful or sexual at 51, but also they're supposed to still be having babies at 51. So I think, as I'm kind of talking through this, the core problem in Pearl's worldview here is that she thinks the only thing women can do is look hot and have babies. I mean, she actually says it from the beginning. She equates attractiveness, physical appearance, with genetic superiority or genetic health. When in all honesty, like, looking hot doesn't tell you anything about somebody's predispositions for health conditions later on in life. So, yeah, there is that whole evolutionary theory thing that clear skin, bright eyes, nice teeth are more attractive. But the idea that, women have to basically maintain women only have a life from the time that they become sexually ripe in her mind, or, prepared, like puberty, until their 30s. Like, it sounds like from Pearl's perspective, a woman only really lives when she is the most fertile and then her existence is for men. And then once she stops looking good, she has to fade in the background. She can contribute nothing else to society. And I just, like, this makes no sense on, like, humanist level, on an economic level, on just, like, the idea that people have basic worth more than just what they can give or do for someone else. So let's, she also is, like, rambling and like just not making a lot of sense. So I'm gonna speed this up. Oh no, not gonna. No, I don't need the subtitles. I need the speed, because I can't sit through this as fast. Dang it, I did it again. I did the same thing again. normal speed. Let's do 125, because she's not making any intelligent points that I really need to sit with here.
Now, we have women that really are, I would say, genetic, like, masterpieces.
Genetic masterpieces. All right. I'm already getting flashes of superior genes here, and that's a little bit of an undertone, but the idea, again, that she is equating good genes with attractiveness. So, in other words, the hotter you are, the better your genes are. Not a thing. It's really not a thing, especially in human societies, where especially, like, women and men do have options for surrogacy. So the idea that, like, men are only going after the hottest women and no other women are going to get a heterosexual partner is just silly.
Almost. Maybe it's not the right word, but like top genes, right? They're
So there are top genes, and that means there are bottom genes. All right? There are genes that are good, and those people are hot, and then there are genes that are not top, they're subpar. They're inferior genes. Again, this is not how evolution works. Evolution works about what allows you to survive. It's not about how pretty you are. So again, I just feel like she doesn't know anything about this topic, which makes her opinion really worthless. But continuing.
Stunningly beautiful, like absolutely stunning, and great bodies, very friendly and nice.
Great bodies, friendly and nice. All of these things are geared toward like making men happy. She is distilling women's lives down. And I'm only going to talk about heterosexual women here, so I should also like specify that more clearly. Heterosexual women only exist to please men. If as long as we're pretty to the guys and we're ready to have babies, then that's all we're really needed for or good for or useful for. And that's patriarchy. That's just a straight up patriarchal position that is not based on merit or individual worth or anything like that. It's just based on like what you have. All right, I'm on to find something because I think it's important. I'm gonna take us to a clip right now that is relevant. And it is relevant because it's true. This is basically all you need to have. This video right here that I'm going to show you. Okay? I had to go into my Discord. Yeah. This is how you should respect and love yourself. All right? So I'm just going to do Drew Talbert, amazing channel, does improv on people in service. I highly recommend it. Go check it out. But let's just take a look at a healthy sense of what a human being's worth, sort of like valued on.
Here, just take the picture. I'm too busy to refill your iced tea every 5 minutes.
Oh, fair enough. But you still have to tip me.
Take my money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cole, I wish I could be you.
Oh, honey, it's so hard for redheads to go blonde. The pigments are impossible.
No, I want to talk to guests like you do. It's like you're saying everything I'm thinking, but I'm too scared to say.
What are you scared of?
I don't know. I just can't handle people not liking me.
Do you like you?
Yeah, I think so.
Why?
I guess because I'm nice, I'm fun, I try to be a good friend, I'm always happy to help.
Okay, so here's the thing. Nice, fun, happy to help.
That's all fine, but it's all about pleasing other people or making yourself more likable. You should like yourself because you exist, because you're a person. Once you stop putting any conditions on that, you'll stop seeking approval from others. Because people are gonna like you or not like you. Let them. Wow, that was amazing.
No, Bridget, do not be like Nicole. I can't have two of y'all running around here. You're servers. You don't get paid to be yourself. You get paid to be nice.
Okay, Grandpa.
But that's it. Like human beings as a base level have like basic rights and dignities, and they are entitled to like a basic form of respect, regardless of like, you can agree with them, disagree with them. Even if they commit a crime, I think you should need to have minimum standards for how you treat people in prison, because it's a reflection of your own humanity. Even if when people commit inhuman acts, I don't think we should be brought down to their level. But Pearl is only putting forth one criteria for a woman's worth, and it's the extent to which men want to have sex with her and have impregnate her. I think that's so demeaning, and it's just gross, if I'm honest. All right, I'm going to try to wrap this up in the next 10 minutes.
But they still are not exempt to being modern women. The culture, like women are so susceptible to propaganda. The culture just has really ruined us.
Why are women susceptible to propaganda? Is it because there have existed structures for centuries that have taught women they are less than men, that have legally reinforced that distinction, that have denied them education that would allow them a structure of critical thought to evaluate their own lack of power? Is it because they are economically dependent upon men because of historical patriarchal structures? That means that they are highly influenced by, pleasing the person over whoever had control over their lives. And that's the problem. It's not that women actually finally mentally broke down and gave in to all of these pressures in the churches, in the temples, in the mosques, in government, in economics, in the family, in society. All of these messages telling women you're only worth how hot you are and how many babies you can have. So women are responsible for being victims of brainwashing? Again, Pearl doesn't have like a scope, like a global scope of how things work. And so she's just repeating sexist, patriarchal propaganda because she thinks she has a moral high ground when she doesn't realize she doesn't have a rational basis for anything.
Sofia Vergara, we covered last week, she's getting a divorce. So this woman is 51 and twice divorced. She's been ensnared in a legal battle with another ex-boyfriend that she never married because she wanted to destroy the frozen embryos they'd created via IVF. And he didn't. Her most recent divorce is allegedly because her ex wanted kids and she didn't. But hey, she's partying in Italy in a swimsuit. This is exemplary of what is wrong with Western society. There's no shame in being.
I don't understand why you think a woman at 51 shouldn't be able to enjoy herself. Like, I don't understand where this shame is coming from. She's implying that, like, what she should be doing at 51 is getting pregnant and literally risking her life. Pregnancies over the age of 40 are highly risky. You get preeclampsia, you get other, like, physical problems that just make it more difficult for the body to go through the trauma. And let's really, birthing is a trauma. Women still die in childbirth. It's quite rare in the West. It's not as rare in the States as it is in some other countries, especially our maternal mortality rate for Black Americans is like ridiculously high compared to white Americans. I mean, there's just no reason for that kind of disparity in a land of freedom. But anyway, when do women get to stop being hot and stop making babies? Because she's saying at 50, she's disgusting for looking like this. Can we just also point out
single, but very few people are being called to a lifetime of singlehood.
Okay, she's talking about a lifetime of singlehood. Again, not really looking at history. It's not as if before, let's say 1900, people would get married and stay married for 70 years. If you look back at time, if you got married at, say, 16 or 17, or you're a little bit older, let's say you got married at 21 or 22, chances are your spouse was going to die in a war, or from a plague, or from childbirth, or a raiding Viking party, or maybe they were in the raiding Viking party and they went off and, got killed. And then you marry someone else. The fact is, this idea of lifelong monogamy has never been the case. We've always had multiple marriages. People have always been we tend to be serial monogamists. We tend to pair up with somebody for a while and then we move on. And divorce, again, has always been an option for men. It's far easier for men to divorce their wives than it is for women to divorce their husbands. So again, this idea that, marriage is natural, and if a marriage fails, it's down to the woman, it's her responsibility. This is just misogyny. She's completely exempting men for the structures that they put into place or the cultures that they're reproducing through their actions and attitudes today.
No one is called to a series of broken marriages. Single doesn't look so.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, if you want to get married, chances are you're not going to stay married because, death happens. And that, of course, is something that she's not taking into account because she's a privileged little white girl who lives in a bubble.
Great when you're 70 and alone.
I can't get over how, I mean, just she is so hot. I can't, yeah. The fact that Pearl is shaming this obviously stunning woman for being a little too old for her tastes shows the problem with Pearl. This isn't a problem with, this woman has worked for her look. She looks amazing. Look at that booty. Honestly. I mean, I didn't. Right? The idea women have expiration dates, as soon as you turn 35, you're worthless, is patriarchal. And then, of course, she's shaming women who are trying to preserve a standard of youth because society tells women they only have value when they're youthful. She's no critical skills whatsoever. Not critiquing a single thing that's coming out of her mouth. Yeah, I'd love to debate this woman. I would destroy her. I would absolutely destroy her in a debate because she's just talking nonsense the whole time. All right, well, I think that's actually it. I don't think we need to listen to Pearl all the way through again. That's just torture. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm on studio mode now. Well, that's it. That's the show. We just wanted to dip in. I just wanted to dip in. A little bit of content, keep your patriarchy critique going, and to do something a little more light and fun than the heavy open access article that we did last time. So that's it. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I can actually just look really quick here at the, if I can, I'll just look at the chat really quick. I did see a couple comments in the chat. So before I go, we still have 4 minutes. Why don't we go ahead and, what? There we go. Oh, YouTube is being a bit of a poo. I'm having a hard time getting my screen to come up. Oh, I see. It's because I'm on the wrong one. Maybe I shouldn't do these spontaneous looking for the chats things at the end. Anyway, Sib Wolf, hey, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. And for those of you who are, oh, okay. Oh, no, there's just more. There's more. Sorry. All right. So, Fake Queen Corey, if you haven't watched my chat with Corey, go back on the channel in the live section and check that out. We had a really nice chat and a really good time. Why is this old woman far more attractive than me? Yeah, Sib, right? Like, that woman is far more attractive than me. Like, I don't want to give her props. And you're like, oh, what's she going to look like? Is she going to look that hot at 70? Like, probably. Like, I hope so for her. Like, if she wants to. This, again, Pearl hasn't lived, right? She's probably like, it's basically it's Lauren Southern, all of these trad wives who come out here lecturing older women who've lived more and have had experience of life on how they should be living. Lauren Southern did that for years, ended up a divorced single mom. Life is complicated. Stop judging people when you don't know, when you've not walked a mile in their shoes. Pearl has kids. I have no idea. I haven't heard her mention them yet. She acts like Sofia Vera, doesn't already have children. Ageism, absolutely some ageism. The word begins with C and has a very negative connotation that seems relevant. Oh yeah, she's awful, isn't she? That's why I'd really love to debate her. I think she's hilarious because she doesn't actually have good reasons for her opinions. She just has biases. I must have the bottom genes. There are top genes and there are bottom genes, and then there are switched genes. Do you know about the song she sang? Yes. So Andrew, on Kevin and I, our happy hour on Friday, this is how I got introduced to Pearl Davis. We watched the Piers Morgan takedown of Pearl, which was hilarious. And through that, I heard part of her song, not the whole anti-Semitic song, but I did hear parts of it. MGTOW, yeah, Red Pill, she's really shilling, shall we say, carrying a lot of water for men who hate her. Sadly, the Venn diagram overlaps that of the super straights. Yes. Anyone see Paul and Morgan losing it over the Barbie movie being too anti-men? Oh, maybe I can look at that next week. So I'm looking for some content. We have some really hot 70-year-olds. Yeah, I mean, we can kind of go through them, but it's just, again, this idea that women are only valuable for looking good, but if they try to look good, then past a certain age, then we get to shame them. There's so much nonsense in her head. It's quite ridiculous, which is why oh no, I'm playing that thing again. I gotta close it quick before it starts to replay. That's it. Thank you all for your comments and for stopping by. I'm really, really done now. Really, I promise. I'm really, really done. And it's almost the bottom of the hour, so 30 minutes exactly. Once again, kicking butt and taking names. Until next week, unless you want to go check me out on Kevin's channel on the Twitches, KF Logan 1875, I think it is, someone in there. Go check us out every Friday night. We have a happy hour, and I am not sure if I'm going to do this next Saturday or next Sunday. My life is still in flux with various things, but I will come back and show up with some critiques of anti-feminists and also explaining the benefits of feminist critique to our society, academia, our knowledge, and the world, this time again next week. So, until then, I have been Kristi. You have been awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by, and have a great day wherever it is, whenever it is that you are. All right. Bye. And go follow Sib on Twitch.